tell me, am I tripping? It's the draws I'm taking or the cup that I'm sipping. Who won't war with us? Never been no victim. Only what we lost was to the system. Free all my brothers. Girl, you're fine as hell and your skin soft as butter. I tell my bro I love you in your eyes. I see you on my mind
Yo,
all the time. Especially on my coldest lonely nights. They saying that two wrongs don't make it right. So I'll be going home all alone tonight. Cause I just wanna be the one that you trust. I just wanna be the one I won't judge. The one that you call when you need some love. The one that you call when you need me to play. Like a lot of games is being played, odds are going down. It's on till it's gone, and they're casting on now. And I have a piece of your love, baby. A piece of your love. And I have a piece of your love, baby. Piece of your love. In your hands. What up? I'm saying though. In your love. I'm saying. It's like a lot of games. Piece of your love, baby. Till it's on. Come try and get me a yeah. You to have a piece of your love, baby. A piece of your love. And I have a piece of your love, baby. Piece of your love, your love. No, love takes on meanings.
Make it a habit. A 10-minute
Chat. How we doing? Chad, Happy New Year. How y'all doing, Chad? Hope y'all doing good. Hope everything is good today. Hope everything is going well. It's the 1st of January. Um, so today we gotta make our New Year's resolutions, Chad. Let's make our New Year's resolutions so that we know what we'll be working on this year. So, man, I woke up excited to stream again. The last 2 days I've been sick, but we're just gonna push on this whole year. It's great to start anew. Great to start a new day and push on, man. I was, my plan was to finish the whole year streaming, but unfortunately, being sick, I couldn't do that. It is what it is. But today we're gonna just put everything on the stream, everything we want to do this year, which is let me start writing them down, chat. Let me write them down. Let me write them down. It's actually just one thing. What is actually just one thing, man. I wanted to go to I wanted to go on some traveling trips and stream IRL. So I might be traveling this year. I want to stream that IRL. That is my goal. I don't want to set too big. And also, I put a goal for this year to reach 100,000 subscribers. I don't know if that's gonna reach it, man. I don't know. I don't want to doubt it. We don't know. But if I'm being honest, it's highly unlikely to reach that in 9 months, or to reach that in 12 months. But we're gonna, God. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna reach 100,000 subscribers this year. Um, but things are impossible sometimes. Things that impossible can happen sometimes. But my goal is to reach 100,000. Whether it's gonna reach it or not, that is to be determined. But reach 100,000. That is my goal. Reach 100,000 subscribers. Also, get on more trips to places I want to go this year and do IRL streams, events, tours, just trying food. So those kind of things I want to do this year. One place I want to go. Last year, you guys saw I went to New York. I was walking the New York Bridge, Brooklyn Bridge, and stuff like that. This year, I might go to um I don't know if I'm gonna reach. I want to go to Cali this year. Let me put that in. I want to go to California. That's one. And I want to travel with a car, going places to places, new places. But California. Where else do I want to go? I already been to Europe, Chad. So I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say California this year, traveling, maybe visit New York again. Probably that's gonna happen. Highly likely that I'm gonna go to New York. In the beginning of this year. Um, so that can be in the next 3 months. What else? So I have then New York. I have California. Traveling, doing IRL streams. I have 100,000 subscribers that I want to reach this year. What else? um, what else did I want to reach this year? I want to reach. Mm, maybe we do a stream collab. If it's if it's really, what do you say? If it's um like meant to be, or not even forced, like a stream collab that works and has chemistry, I would go for that. If we can get a stream collab with chemistry, with some good vibes, and this person really likes streaming also, like a fellow streaming peer, yes, I will stream with them. What else? Those are my New Year's resolutions, chat. Um, so going to New York, that's the first thing. Again, this year going to New York. That is probably gonna happen already, but probably reaching 100,000 subscribers, traveling and doing IRL content, that could be just anywhere. Just somewhere where it could be Brazil, you never know. It could be anywhere. Going to California, I don't know, that might be 2027 or this year, but I'm gonna put it as this year as a resolution. And let me see. I already said reaching 100,000. I already said New York. I already said California. I already said a stream collab that is not forced, or a good stream collab with good chemistry that is just vibes. That I would do. That's a good thing to wish for, because that's beneficial for everybody. What else? What else? What else, Chad? Mm, y'all don't have to worry about equipment. Y'all don't have to worry about equipment, because as soon as I'm in a better place to buy like streaming equipment, I'm gonna do that. So that's not even something I need to I need to worry about, because I know I'm gonna do that and get better streaming equipment, like a better mic, camera, eventually a very good a very like monitors and computer and space. Okay, Chad, this is a good one. I just want more space this year to work out of, like a better streaming space. And then I think I can put more monitors here and stuff like that, and a bigger computer, like a PC. But first I need the space. That's what I think. Yeah. So that's a good thing to wish for, a bigger space. Mm, yeah, chat, chat, and I want to be chat, and I want to be around creators more this year. Want to be more around creators, streamers. If I get a chance, I don't know what, I don't know when I'm in the states again. It might be in the next 3 months when I go to New York. I'm not sure yet, so I'm not gonna confirm it. But if I'm there and there's like events, I don't know when DreamCon is, or one of those cons, DreamCon, maybe TwitchCon, maybe also, there's also Streamer University, I heard. Um so yeah, there's a lot of events that might be that might be happening this year, and if I'm there, I'm gonna try to go. All right, Chad. That is it for my New Year's resolutions. I just want to tell y'all take good care of yourself this year. Y'all just enjoy the year. Enjoy yourself. Yesterday I was in the streets. I don't know if I post. I mean, just a moment, Chad. Yeah, Chad, I did post something. I posted something on my channel. So go like it. I posted Happy New Year. We will go hard this year last night. I'm happy we did. Yeah. I'm happy we did. We will go hard this year, Chad. That is no doubt. We will go hard this year. That is no doubt. People gonna see what we're gonna put in this year. I hope I hope to get such good content that I can clip it. I'm not that I'm waiting on it, but you do gotta have. I don't want to be clipping just anything, because I'm not a lazy person, but I'm not trying to give off content that isn't entertaining either. Yeah, I know some people just clip because they want to clip, but I'm not really about that. I might make some more shorts this year though, Chad. I might make some more shorts this year. um, yeah. What else? What else? I'm in the house today, just pushing and putting in work. I missed the last 2 days, so I gotta really lock in today and start the year off with a bang, with a real bang. What else, Chad? What else? What else? New Year's resolution. I already said. Uh, if y'all got suggestions for the channel, let me know. Um, yeah, chat. This is like my safe space. It's like my shout out the people that be listening to me, that be watching my stream. Shout out to y'all. It's like my safe space. Y'all be really with me, man. And I really like that I have a better mic now. Hold on. If I put this here, it's even better. I really like that I have a better mic now. So you guys can hear me like it's more like ASMR or what they call it. You guys can really hear me clearly. Let me see. Yo. So now the mic should be clear and loud enough because it wasn't loud enough. Now it's better. So now it should be ASMR. Now it should be the perfect amount. This is better. Clear and loud enough because it wasn't loud enough. Now it's better. So now it should be ASMR. Now it should be the perfect amount. This is better. Okay, so now that we have that chat, we can. I'm gonna repeat my. I'm gonna repeat my New Year's resolutions. Mm, I said I wanna I wanna have some IRL streaming when I travel. That could be just anywhere where I go this year. With God's grace, with God keeping me safe, I'm able to do that. God keeping me healthy also. That would be so important for me to do that. hmm so I wanted to do some IRL streams this year. That's my New Year's resolution. I want to reach 100,000 subscribers this year, and I want to. I want to go to. I want to go to Cali, California. I already have a trip planned for New York beginning of this year, but it's not confirmed yet, so it's not confirmed. What else? Um, yeah, I want to do a stream collab. I said also with a streamer or somebody that's like the perfect vibes, good chemistry, something that is not forced. So that would be a great collab for the stream. It could be something IRL, most likely IRL, maybe going doing some kind of activity. That is my goal. That is my goal. Those are the things that I want to reach this year. What else? I also have. Let's see. Those are my goals, chat. Those are my goals for this year. I should have some more, but let's see. Let's see. Those are my goals, chat. Those are my. Yes. Yes. What else? Mm, tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Yeah, chat. So I just set all my goals for this year. Let me see. Yeah, chat. All right. So, chat. Those were my goals. Let me go. Let me put this back. Let's start the fucking year, man. Let's start it. My bad. Let's start the year. Chat. We got a long ass stream today. This is the first of the year, first day. We got a long stream. I'm hungry already, but I don't care. I don't know what to, Chad. I can't even eat, Chad. Let me tell you, I can't even eat because I've been sick, Chad. But I'm hungry. But even if I want to eat, Chad, nothing, literally nothing is open today. I gotta check my fridge and see what's open, or see what I have. That's it. That's it. No other option, buddy.
Just floating down my own river in the Canadian wilderness. How did an Irishman like me get so lucky? I don't know. Only the gods know.
Being right on the water is just totally different. Even being just 100 meters up on top of that cliff, it's so magical down here at the water. So you see this, this big bend that comes around, whatever, 180 degrees around this point that sticks out. Can you imagine building the main home up on this point? A bunch of spruce trees. You can see this knoll that pokes way out into the water. Now that we got the sawmill, it'd just be beam by beam, getting the beams over, and then building up there. It's doable. It'd be a very Romanesque type construction project. Be quite glorious to be surrounded by water on all three sides. And I'm Irish. I'm used to being surrounded on all sides by water. You the Irish Sea, ever heard of it? Oh my God.
Chad, did I click the wrong video?
Church is a great way to connect with your new neighbors and find a Christ Center community near you. Click the link down below to find the church.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been putting it off for so long, but we gotta bite the bullet and do it now. I want to keep boogieing on the cabin, but we gotta take care of our oak trees. We only got 2 oak trees as far as I can tell. This is Thor's red oak. You can see he's almost at my shoulder height now. We got to upgrade his enclosure, but first of all, I think what's more urgent is Thor's wife, who is Sif. Sif's red oak is right over here. No protection. You see, she's kind of getting hit with the insects. She does have some new growth coming out. One of the big things is that, you know, I cleared a whole bunch of trees over there and then up this laneway so that Thor's red oak would get a bunch more sun. And he is obviously loving it. But for Sif's red oak, she's really heavily in the shade. Now, the spot that I want to move Sif's red oak, it's a little weird, it's a little gross, but I think it's actually the optimal place. Whoa.
Holy.
The shovel just breaks, and then I get a call from my neighbor, and he's ready to saw logs. He said he's got about 4 hours open to saw logs. So let's go saw those, continue sawing the red pine. Hopefully we can get through the rest of them, because it's critical we get those suckers sawed so that they don't rot. I love tractors. Somebody give us a tractor. Wait. This thing is piling up. How many big guys we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Dude. What the? This is the weirdest root. Look at this thing. This thing's been mowed down, chewed down a whole bunch of times. The root is much bigger, but it comes up at this super steep angle going back this way. It was intertwined in these 2 giant roots coming from this big what is this thing? A spruce tree behind it. I'm really concerned that we are just in the mode of killing this thing. Uh-oh. This one we got most of that branch, but this it got torn off right here. So hoping we can still transplant this guy. Oh my goodness gracious. And the planting location is the Thunder Hole, right beside the wolf den.
Creators, take these 3 apps are built to run my business made with Base 44. They're ready for you as free to use templates in the link below.
Chad, we're gonna be here today for a long time.
Well, folks, I told you it was going to be a weird spot. It is in the Thunder Hole. It is in the Thunder Hole where I have been pooping this whole time. I actually just realized that, you know what, I need to move it further away from the tent and the cabin. I need to find a new spot. I need to build an actual Thunder box. Talk about a turbocharged soil source. This is going to be running on, oh, you know what? Actually, guys, other than me, it's not just my poop in there. It's 99% my poop, 1% Xander Budnick's poop. Xander Budnick is the only other human being who has pooped in that in my my Thunder Hole. So this red oak is going to be powered on Xander poop and James poop. Would you look at that? He's going to grow to 10 feet tall in no time. It's just for the night. Just for the night.
It's a mad sword.
Guys, I just got back from town. I had a shipment notification on my P.O. box. And I was like, I didn't order anything. What the heck is that? You will not believe what I got in the mail. Oh, yes. Ice, baby. It is so cold here. None of this ice is melted. This has been in here for like 2 hours. IGBC certified, bear resistant. So apparently what happened is that my mother and my sister were watching my episode last week, and they saw that I was having difficulties keeping my stuff cold in my lame little igloo freezer I got in at Walmart, and it was like $40 or whatever, right? So in celebration of my 100,000 subscribers, thanks to you guys again, they decided to get me a 100,000 subscriber gift. They got me a Yeti cooler. Man, that is so cool. I've been wanting one of these things forever. They're so expensive, but they're so good. I've heard stories of friends that have Yeti coolers. The ice will last like a week in here. So we'll see how long the ice lasts. But it does say that it's bear-proof there. But my mother and my sister, they also got me 2 bear-proof locks.
Chat, and we're back. Chat, I gotta check. Hold on, hold on. I gotta check this audio shit because I thought this is works when I'm not watching a video, but when I'm watching a video, there's crazy echo.
Hello? Let me see what this is. Yo, 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 yo. Bro, chat, I don't like my audio being bad. This is better. Oh, this is better. Oh, chat, I don't like my audio being bad. This is better. Chat, so that's the thing. I was saying, this sounds very good, but I need a headset. I don't have a headset right now. That shit broke. That thing broke, bro. Before I left to come home here, like before I flew here, chat, back home from New York, all my shit, all my things were misplaced. So I lost a lot of things. And it's not even my fault. It's the person that was moving all those stuff, man. And yeah, it's not even my fault. But I'm happy now. We just gonna have to do with this audio. It's not that bad. The other audio is good, but I'm gonna buy a mic this month. I'm gonna buy a headset this month because that's what I need, a headset. And that will be good. No more echo and stuff. But that's it. What else, Chad? What else? That's what I wanted to say. Let's watch this stream, man, and enjoy it. Let's enjoy the rest of this stream with no bad audio. Now we got good audio, Chad. Jesus fucking helly.
There's something coming through the forest over there. I can hear it chomping on something, like it's chomping on a dead tree. I'm gonna yell. Let's see if anything. Hey, get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here! That was weird. Sounded exactly the kind of sound like something was peeling stuff off bark, was chewing on something. Whoa, that was weird.
Check out the difference between this same sentence being dictated into Siri versus Whisperflow. Let's meet at 12 p.m.
just got a phone call from the breeder guys, the Irish Wolfhound breeder. So good news, the mother, whose name is Echo, is preggers, very preggers, going in to get an x-ray to see how many puppies she is pregnant with, and it looks like the delivery should be the first week of August, which means I can pick up the Irish Wolfhound first week of October, which should be perfect timing. You know, hopefully the cabin's going to be very much livable at that point, and we'll be ready to bring home this Irish Wolfhound pup. So pretty excited about that. I wanted to tell you guys a little story about why I chose the name Clovis. Clovis is actually one of my favorite characters from ancient Rome, but he's not actually a Roman. Clovis is famous for unifying the Frankish tribes in late Rome and being the founder of modern-day France. He was the first king of the Franks, and he was married off as a teenager to a Burgundian princess named Clotilda. P.S. Burgundian princess, how cool does that sound? I would love to marry a Burgundian princess like Clovis. Any Burgundian princesses out there, please find me on Instagram, send me a DM, would love to get to know you. Clovis, after marrying Clotilda when they were both teenagers, they started this process of unifying the Frankish tribes and eventually became king and queen. There was a huge amount of conflict between Clovis and Clotilda because Clovis, like almost all of the other kind of Germanic nations at that time, the Burgundians, the Vandals, the Franks, the Goths, they were almost all pagan, worshipped Odin and Frigg and Freya and Thor, kind of the Vikings 1.0 really. They ran on the same socio-cultural software as the Vikings later did. But so Clovis was a pagan, right, worshipping Thor. Shout out Thor's Red Oak. And the weird thing was that Clotilda was not. She was a Christian. She was one of the very, very rare Christians. Nobody really knows how this Burgundian princess ended up becoming a Christian, but she was, and she always wanted to. There's a huge amount of conflict because she always wanted Clovis to convert. All his senior leadership, the warriors, the majority of the populace were pagans. So if he just, by a snap of the fingers, converted, that could be extremely dangerous. Like, you could get killed, you could get dethroned, thrown out of power. There's a huge amount of conflict there. And eventually that changed. Clovis, leading the Franks, they were fighting the Thuringians. The Thuringians was another Germanic nation at this time north of the Roman border. And they were losing this battle very badly. So Clovis did this wild thing where he literally did the Pepsi challenge between the two gods. He literally threw up his arms and he said, "Odin, if you are real, help me win this battle in the next 5 minutes." And 5 minutes passed and they were still losing. So he's like, "Okay, Christian God, if you are real, help us win this battle." And apparently as soon as he said that, the Thuringian king got a spear in his neck. And that was a huge blow to the Thuringian morale, and the Thuringian warriors started to flee the battle scene. So from that moment on, Clovis knew in his heart that the Christian God was the true God, and he went back and confessed to Clotilda what had happened, and she was overjoyed. And they actually, the Christian church in Rome at that time sent up, I believe it was a bishop, to convert Clovis and all the kind of the senior leaders of the Frankish people. So it was pretty momentous that Clovis, the modern form of that name, is actually Louis in French or Louis in English. So if you know anyone named Louis or Louis, those people are actually named after Clovis. So the reason there are so many French kings named Louis V, Louis XIV, Louis XVI, etc., it's because they're all named in honor of Clovis. So it's really interesting. One of the great-granddaughters of Joan of Arc, her name is actually Clotilda, and she's almost certainly named after the first queen of the Franks. So that is why I'm naming my Irish Wolfhound, who is soon to arrive, Clovis, after one of the most interesting characters in the late Roman Empire. New Zealand. Huh. Just as I was finishing my delicious New Zealand beef, we got some amazing news, ladies and gentlemen. There was a viewer of Wild Homestead who saw the episode last week and was like, oh my God, I actually work at a window factory here in Ontario. So they're like, we could get you windows in a week. We could do a rush order for you just because we appreciate your channel. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Maybe it's because, Sif's Red Oak, we've saved Sif's Red Oak, put her in an optimal spot, that the gods are helping us. And so I just, they gave me a huge discount on the windows too. So I just went through the details. So I'm canceling, I just canceled all the orders for my other windows. So we're putting up one window on this end, one on the other. There's going to be casement windows that you can open. We're putting a fixed window on the door, and then we're putting two big casement windows on either side that you can open up for airflow, and then, just for the gorgeous views to the north and the south here. So they're going to be ready in maybe under a week. Now, the only problem is that this factory is about a 6-hour drive from where I am. That might end up being a 2-day trip to go get these windows in my pickup truck, but by golly, I think it's worth it. We're getting a great deal, and they're going to be done so quickly with a black finish too. So it's going to go with everything else on the cabin. How cool is that, man? Well, folks, as expected, the floor repair has taken about a day. We started around 9 a.m. this morning, and it is currently 7:30. So I just went out to cut the last two braces, cross braces for this last section, but all the wood is wet. So I think we're going to wait till tomorrow morning to do the wood when it's dry. I don't want to lock in super wet wood. Morning, governor. What is it even from? What's it like? I feel like it's a famous line. Guys, something really cool. Check this out. This is a good sign that our roof, our canted roof, our slanted roof is actually working. So the fear was, as the water comes down, especially on that ridge, and this ridge, where there's a bump, the water has to travel up and over, and it can pool up a little bit there. The fear is that it works its way underneath. I've got the 1/4-inch foam compressed under, and then I've got a very liberal dollop of silicone on the outside. So it appears that all the water is coming down to here, which is what we want, and we've got zero water making it towards the edge, and even there's no water here either. So I think that's definitely a good sign. Obviously got to keep our eyes on it, especially in the through the winter, through all the kind of freeze, thaw cycles, the snow and the ice, etc. See what happens. But so good so far. So far, so good. Yet again, at this part of the process, it's the Indiana Jones stepping on the possibly collapsing stones to spell the name of God in The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. This is potentially the riskiest part of the entire thing, because if I misstep or I slip on this plastic sheeting and my foot goes down, it's going to punch out that layer of Tyvek, and even more difficult to replace the hardware cloth on the bottom, and it's almost impossible to reattach that from up here. It would be a complete disaster. I would probably have to deconstruct the floor and then redo it. It would be terrible. So pray to all the gods. Pray to both the old gods and the new. Oh my Keir Starmer, we got a bit of a problem here. So this sheet, I'm gonna need to shave an inch off that side as I'm reapplying these boards. They're shifting a little bit from where I did have them. So it's a bit of a pain because I gotta bring this, so this is a 48-inch wide, 4-foot wide board. So actually there at 48 inches is fine, but I need them to be 47 up here. So it's gonna be kind of tricky highlighting with the snap blue marker, line rather, to cut up just a smidgen.
Hello, Mr. Rabbit. Sorry, that is a snowshoe hare, I believe. But it's the summer color phase. Oh, he's eating the bracken ferns. May the gods bless you, sir. You're reducing my work, because me pulling all those out by hand is a complete pain in the butt.
Here's a story. Imagine that one day you notice that certain project data is missing.
Oh my God, what can I do? I didn't save the last changes? Money lost, customers mad. I could take it.
You can relax when you remember that you're using is hosting VPS with automatic free weekly backups. No worries, we have your back every week.
And you can also scale your disk space with our data storage service anytime.
One of my clients asked for a refund. She thought the man I sketched looked like her neighbor, but it turned out he was her soulmate. Here is the sketch I created, and here is the man she eventually married. Just 3 weeks after receiving the sketch, she met him exactly the way I said she would. I can create the same kind of sketch for you, your destined soulmate. It might be someone you already know, or it could be the face you're yet to meet, along with when and where it will happen.
Okay, let me show you the problem that I'm trying to overcome here, guys. It's the gap, the small gap in between the bottom of the floor and then this bottom log here all the way around. I've dug it out a little bit. You can see here's the side of the floor. Look at that nice hardware mesh all the way along, sealing things up quite nicely. I was thinking of, drilling, sinking a screw there and a screw here. The problem is, like, this is kind of undulating here, and I don't know if it's hard to tell if the screw is going in there. Option 2, I would slide it up so it's just hitting the side of there and tacking it in here. That I can do easily. But now I'm thinking, this actually takes up a huge amount of space down here. If you look at this, so this is the second option I was talking about. But what I think might be better is just to leave it open, and what I can do is take hardware cloth and fold it down and squeeze it down from above, down into the crack, and then maybe fill it with foam insulation, and then seal it off on the top with the flooring, the 1x8 pine flooring that I'm going to be using. Because I think this might be over-engineering this. I think it might be better just to solve this problem from above as opposed to above and below. But anyways, any of you creative folks out there, let me know what you think in the comments about how you would solve this small gap problem that goes all the way around. I guess what I could also do is take hardware cloth and just bridge that same gap with the staple gun even all the way around, and have hardware cloth over that gap, and then do the same thing, like stuff hardware cloth in from above and then seal with the spray foam, and then just the 1x8 pine is going on top. That is another option. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Before I do that step, I'd like to see some ideas out there about what you guys think is best. Looks like we'll be able to make our own berries and cherries, ladies and gentlemen. Not only are we very rich in raspberries, but very soon we're going to be extremely rich in blueberries. Look at this, all these bushes here, and there's a huge swath of them as the kind of this mossy area goes way over there. These are all blueberry bushes, man. Look at that. They're all coming in, man. They're all green. I didn't even notice it because they were green. You see the one on the left. Talk about bear food, man. Holy cow. Now, blueberry bushes, from what I understand, they really like direct sunlight. So I could turn this into a giant blueberry patch. Berries and cherries. Oh. Café infusé à foie noire, croustillant, entre le fraction fiancé. AKA black cold brew coffee. French Canadians, why you gotta be so long-winded? Just go straight to the point. Black cold brew coffee, that's all you gotta say.
What if I can build an app that works my way with Base 44? My work is chaotic, and I need tools that keep up. Today, I can build an app that adapts to me. I can create calculations, automations, and insights I need, all in one place. And I add my own AI agent that handles the routine work, all built my way. My numbers, my projects, my data. Because when you create it yourself, it just works. Base 44, build it your way.
All it takes is 28 days to overcome ADHD dopamine addiction, and I'll prove it to you in the next 45 seconds.
Task paralysis, chronic exhaustion, social isolation, messy house, pleasure chasing. You see, ADHD isn't just being lazy or unfocused. Once you learn your coping type and start managing it using behavioral psychology, the well-being can improve almost instantly, and you almost forget how to waste time ever again. It works by first discovering your ADHD type and then letting the changes unfold naturally. It's amazing how easy it is. So if you can relate, do me a favor and take a quiz.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh my goodness. Using this smaller saw, this is what, an MS-170, is so much easier than using that big MS-261C. That's what I've been doing the majority of my forestry work. But doing for this kind of trimming and trimming small trees, this thing's so much lighter and more lithe, L-I-T-H-E, I believe. It's just, it's absolutely wonderful. Let's just clear this brush up before we continue taking out this stand here. I cannot believe this. Holy cow. In total, this was 3 loads of the 2-inch minus and then 2.5 loads of the grade A. The other half load of that grade A I used back at the cabin for the foundation. But look at this, man. This is fantastic. I got great neighbors up here, man. Honestly, up here in this area, in this valley, I haven't met a single bad person yet. You know, they're all just great people. I'm really blessed. And, you know, when my neighbors help me, they do charge, like for using a machine. Labor with a machine in this area is $70 an hour. Just manual labor is $50 an hour. But, you know, you got to make a living. You can't do everything for free, especially when it's taking diesel fuel and putting hours on your machine and everything. So I totally get it. But just a fantastic job, man. Now, this is something, you know, I thought about, well, wait to do this until I get my own tractor. But for me, it was paramount for security to get this done so that my truck is off the road, so I can get the sawmill back here and that nobody can see back here from the road. So once I put the farm gate up and always have it closed, people will never know. You know, I mean, they can walk back, but if you're just cruising down the road and you're looking in, and you won't know if I'm home or not. So that was really, really important. And it was a lot of money. I think all in, the aggregate was probably about $3,000, and the labor was probably around $1,000, including my other neighbor who came over and helped out for maybe two hours or 3 hours on the stumps with his back end loader thing on his tractor. So it wasn't cheap, man. But this, I think, was critical. You know, it's always in the back of my mind is about, you know, what's worst case scenario? And worst case scenario is at the end of this road, that cabin got absolutely ransacked. Basically as bad as it can be without it being fully burnt down last summer. So there are ruffians about, you know, you can never be naive about that kind of stuff. So I feel a lot better now that I'll be able to come back here and at least be more secure than I was. Ladies and gentlemen, I just realized these tall trees with kind of the white stripes in them they're either small trees or giant shrubs. These are cherries. This, as far as I can tell, is a pin cherry tree, which means we have raspberries, we have cherries, we have blueberries. That means we can make and stock up on our very own berries and cherries. You know, many people talk of freedom as being freedom of movement, freedom to marry who you want, freedom of speech. That is all a bunch of malarkey. True freedom is being able to requisition your own berries and cherries. Idea is correct. This is a pin cherry. These are pin cherries. A lot of these tall, you see, kind of bush tree things, they're all pin cherries. There's a bunch of pin cherries out there. Can you guys see that? Do you see the dragonflies? They're like bombers, man. They love eating flies. I think they might even eat mosquitoes too. But they're bombing around, helping us out. May the gods bless. Oh, may the gods bless the dragonflies for keeping us fly and mosquito free. Rishi Sunak, look at this, guys. Check this out. Oh, yeah. Ooh-wee. Nice and breezy. Obviously got to move that monstrosity eventually. And then, you know, the tool tent is not going to be there. But it really opens it up nice. Let me give you a view from over here. Wolf milk. So you can see right from over here, you can see that's the big birch at the base of the cliff that's overlooking the river where the main home is going to be. It's right over there, not a far walk away. But check it out, man. Isn't that cool? Oh, yeah, really opens it up. And if you see over here where we can open up to that wall of that older growth coniferous forest, punch it all the way back there, all the way around, We might leave. I think I'm going to leave this big, glorious birch tree. And, oh my God. Oh my goodness. That looks to be maybe a 20-foot tall maple tree, guys. Because this, I think, is going to be the key area, right? Where forest gym, tool shed, sawmill, barn for drying the wood that we're milling and aging the wood. Those are the key structures. Well, here we go. You screw this up, can't fix this. No pressure. That is the way to cool off, man. You can hear the rapids over there. Oh, yeah.
tarnation? That's pretty damn good. Would you look at that? We got a real window frame. So right after finished looking at the driveway, I got a call from the window company, Pollard Windows, out of Burlington, Ontario. Check them out. You can Google them, Pollard Windows. They're the folks, there's the employee there who watches Wild Homestead, and he messaged me. He's like, hey, man, we could turn around windows really fast for you. So the windows are going to be ready early next week. Can you believe that? So we nailed through. I'm getting 5 different windows. And these big windows that are going on the north-facing, the south-facing side requires a 36-inch rough opening. The window itself is slightly smaller than that, so it can fit within. And this is cut not to 36 inches, but just like the door, it's cut to 39 because you need 1.5 inches for the frame on every side. So I'm only going to do this one until we actually get them on site. And I'm going to install this window, the north-facing window. It's a black trim, and it's a casement window, so it's just one solid pane, and it's a crank open, so it cranks open this way. Thanks so much for watching this week on Wild Homestead. Finished clearing out around this tree. The driveway is done, which is amazing. We can now bring the sawmill in. We relocated Sif's red oak. Hopefully she makes it. She's looking pretty gnarly right now, but if she can't survive on 900 pounds of my poop and a pound of Xander Budnick's poop, I don't know what to say. 8, 9, 10, 11. Got the last wall fully stained, so I think I'm going to put in the windows and then do the final stain then. We finished rebuilding the second half of the floor, which was a monumental task in and of itself, and now it's super sturdy. So thank goodness we got that done this week. What I need your guys' advice on before next week is, what do you think I should do with the hardware mesh around the bottom of the building? I ordered a fishing kayak. So the fishing kayak is going to get into my P.O. box in town, and it's a 9-footer, and we're going to get out fishing, and we're going to eat some fish, folks. May the gods bless you, both the old gods and the new. And remember, folks, the words of our ancestors. 5 words, 12 syllables. Ooga. Booga.
Chat. I want to continue streaming, but we gotta eat something. Gotta eat something, chat. Yeah, we gotta eat something, or else I'm gonna fall. So that's it, chat. All right, chat. I believe we can do one more episode.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list.
I am James A. Lofts. I left the big city to build an off-grid homestead on 40 acres of Canadian wilderness. This area of Ontario has giant ridgelines, deep valleys, and pure rivers. Black bears, gray wolves, mountain lions, moose, and many forest spirits share the land. I started in November 2023. Starting with a modest 12 by 16 foot guest cabin, my goal is to build such a glorious homestead that I attract a magnificent wife, have 10 babies, and raise an Irish wolfhound. Welcome to Wild Homestead.
yeah, baby. Check that out. So this is as far as we can go. I think before we get the windows on site, going to be picking them up in a few days here. Onwards and upwards. Let's figure out this gosh dang situation with the critter barrier on the bottom. I took a look at all your guys' suggestions on Saturday morning after the last episode was posted. So I think I've gone with one of the suggestions there. I'll show you what it is. But first, we got to put some more water on Sif's red oak. People in the comments have been saying you got to absolutely douse that sucker. Even though she's planted 900 pounds of my poop and a pound of Xander Budnick's poop, which is sufficient fertilizer, I think, for any vegetation.
What the heck are these guys doing? Are these dragonflies breeding or are they eating one another? Oh my God.
Dude. Mother Nature is heavy metal. Holy. Guys, where are all the bugs, man? If you go look at the videos in late May and June, oh man, we're getting bombarded. But really, the bugs after kind of the second week in June, it's just been a steadier, linear downward trajectory for the flying insects, at least the biting ones. And this is amazing. Crap.
You know your business better than anyone, right? So why not build an app to run it with Base 44? This finance.
Can't wait to see this view, man. Ooh. Got some nice flowers down there. Purple flowers. What the heck?
Whoa. Guys, blackberries.
Oh my goodness. That's a blackberry, man. You see the raspberries on the inside, there's like that cavity, that opening, but black, it's just solid. It's not like coming off of a little nodule. Isn't that a weird angle on the cabbage? Oh my goodness. That is extremely flavorful. You can see they go from green to red, and then the final stage of ripeness is black. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. Guys, we got blueberries, we got raspberries, we got blackberries, we got pin cherries. This is a pin cherry tree right here. Oh my goodness. Look at these flowers down here, man. Look at that yellow. Look at this purple. Purple daisies. Let's take some organic ketchup. What did that do here? Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, dragonflies. Do your thing, guys. Do your thing. There we go. There we go. It goes down about 12 inches and it comes out 6 inches. Down 12, out 6. And very tight bind over there and over here on the sides. One thing I would do on the next portions is you can see there's a bit of a gap just behind the mesh. So I'll try to leave a little bit more gravel in behind next time, but I don't think it's big of a deal. It seems very solid. I've got a triple coated premium deck screw every 6 inches all the way along here, and then also along the floor, the bottom of the floor. So it's two birds with one stone. It covers the gap at the bottom of the floor, and it provides this outer protection. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. None of that would be possible without this right angle drill tool. I cannot recommend this thing enough. Unfortunately, Milwaukee didn't make one of them, only DeWalt. Okay. Wow. Now that is some difficult, dusty work. So we got, that full panel down, literally out of screws now. I calculated 8 screws per bay, 8 bays, 64 screws. I got a 95 pack of these. These are premium 3-layer anti-rust coating. These are premium deck screws. So I thought they'd be the best for this application. And they got kind of fat heads on them, so they'll be able to hold up that 1/4 inch mesh. But just on these 2 bays, I've used every single screw already. I'm basically sinking a screw every 6 inches. It might be even every 4 inches. It's difficult to tell down there, but I just want to make it bomb-proof as heck. I've heard a few horror stories and read a few horror stories in my cabin building books about, you get one mouse in there making a havoc in your insulation, and that causes a huge amount of rework, right? Rebuilding an entire floor, ripping everything out. So I want to make it as bomb-proof as possible. This is probably over-engineering, but I swear to goodness, this thing is going to be so damn tight once this is done.
Welcome to the Brain Dump Challenge. Today's contestants will race to capture as many thoughts as possible before they disappear forever.
Winter is coming!
So, got a new chain for the Greenworks electric saw. Got the 1.5-inch screws, special deck screws, premium 3-layer anti-rust coat, and it's probably overkill. We got 700, and then we got enough hardware cloth to finish off the bottom of the cabin. Back into the mines of Moria, where the dwarves dwell. Looking good, man. Looking good. Yeah. Oh my goodness, guys, we got some bad news from the breeder, Irish Wolfhound breeder. Just got a call. And so she had two females that were pregnant. The first one, they did the x-ray and they found that the pregnancy had not taken, or the impregnation had not taken. So no puppies coming from that one. The second mother, they did the x-ray. She only has two puppies inside of her. So she's pregnant, but there's only two dogs. So she called me. She's like, "You're first on the list." She's like, "I got a huge waiting list though. So I just want to know, like, are you still committed to only taking a male?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I do want a male." She's like, "Well, would you want to wait for the next round?" She's got another female that should be giving birth, I think, in the first week of October, and then, pick up for, what would that be? First week of November, pick up for first week of January. So I said, "Yeah, you know what? I'd probably wait until then, but I really want a dog for the fall, heading into the winter. And I think the fall is a great time to train him and stuff." So pray to the gods, man. Pray to the gods that one of these two puppies at least is male, and that we'll be able to get him. But that was surprising news, man. I was not expecting to hear that.
One of my clients asked for a refund. She thought the man I sketched looked like her neighbor, but it turned out he was her soulmate.
This looks so sturdy and bomb-proof. I'm really happy with how this thing has been turning out. But you know what? This last panel here, I'm going to leave open. I did see a bunny, a snowshoe hare, popping out on this end once, just in case there's anything in there. I've been making so much commotion over the last 24 hours. Hopefully that scared anything out. But tonight I'm leaving. I'm driving to get closer to the window factory, and then tomorrow morning, hopefully I'll reach the window factory, pick up the windows, and then by tomorrow night I'll be back. But I just have a feeling I want to leave this open in case there's any critters under there. This is their final chance to get out. Of course, when I come back and seal it up, I'll make sure to go in with the shovel and bang it all around on the floor before sealing it up to try to scare anything out of there. But blueberries. Look at the blueberries. They're coming in, man. They're coming in. Oh, boy. Next week is going to be blueberry bonanza, man. Praise Odin for the wild blueberries. I'm about to hit the road. I'm going to give the last of my water. Thor's red oak here. The new growth on top. Some of the leaves are doing well. He's looking a little thirsty, though. Some of the leaves aren't doing too hot. So we'll pour this down here. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got back from a pretty epic road trip. So I got super close down to the window factory in Burlington, Ontario, which is in far southern Ontario near Toronto. And I was about an hour and a half outside of the factory, and I got a phone call from the guys at Pollard Windows, and they said, "Hey, good news and bad news. The good news is your windows are ready. Two good news, one piece of bad news. Your windows are ready for your pickup, as we promised. Number two, the special ultra-fine bug netting that you ordered has actually come in ahead of schedule, because originally the plan was to grab that bug netting later on because it was going to take a while to get it. Like, the good news is we can get in the bug netting, that special bug netting, next week." He's like, "But if you want us to install it for you, which we recommend you pick up the windows at the same time so that we can install it for you." So I had driven all that way, probably 4.5 hours, I guess, at that point. So I was like, dang, I better wait to pick them up. So I swung around. I did make it productive in a certain sense. I picked up a kayak on the way back. Actually, it was my mother. My mother has 2 kayaks at her cottage, which is now basically her primary residence. And so I picked up one of those kayaks, which is great. Now we got a kayak, but it was a bit of a bust, but I think it is worth it to wait to get these no-seam nets and have them install them. I feel kind of frazzled after driving so far. I'm just going to go jump in the river. That little cool shock wake me back up, man. Oh yeah. Honestly, this is crazy. Like, where are the bugs? Be careful what you wish for. But, you know, it's just so pleasant.
Tento ASIC miner je najhoršia investícia, akú môžeš urobiť. Nielen tento, ale aj viaceré mini ASIC.
Okay, now, before we seal this guy up, the final panel, I'm going to go in with the shovel and bang the heck out of the floor. Oakum. Hemp rope soaked in pine tar. Wow. So oakum is a very rad material. It's been used for time immemorial, literally probably thousands of years, for shipbuilding, right? The caulking in between the planks on ships, but also for buildings. This is what Dick Proenneke, the famous American log cabin builder in Alaska, used in the 1960s. So, what is this? Aha. I remember. So this is a special kind of wedge that's specifically used in the old times for oakum. Apparently it's the right width where it won't split it, but it'll help it go into the cracks without splitting. It's just the perfect thing for oakum. So I believe this tool, this is an old-timey tool from the company. It was, it says C.S. Osborne is the manufacturer. This was, I believe, about $50 US. Whoa. Dude. Wow. That smells very interesting. I have never smelled that scent. I don't know if that's the hemp or the pine tar. That stuff is cool, man. I wonder what it looks like from the inside. Whoa. So this is from the inside. That's nice, and you see there's undulation. It gets in there real nice. This is what the Vikings used this stuff to caulk their ships, which is super cool, and I can see why. This little mallet, if you're going to use oakum, I highly recommend it. It gives just the amount of force, and none of the oakum was splitting as I was putting it in. So now I'm kind of thinking maybe before putting in the rest of this oakum is to actually do the final stain on the logs. what I was picking up is a new chainsaw. So my big chainsaw that I've been using this whole time, the Steel MS-261C, it was hurting my ears. Even using the smaller steel saw, this MS-170, this guy, when I was cutting out the windows and doing some window work, even this guy was hurting my ears. And I was using earplugs plus ear muffs. I was using like 50 decibels worth of ear protection. There should be no problem at all. I don't know what it is. I think, I had multiple ear infections over the winter, and I've just been doing so much chainsawing. It might be that I've weakened my eardrums, or it might be that the vibration of the saw engine is actually going through my skull and rattling my ears around. I don't know what it is, to be honest. So I basically decided that, listen, I'm going to have to go electric, because even with double ear protection, like way over what I should actually need, my ears were still ringing. Like my ears were ringing for 2 days after I used this saw last week. Steel has a full lineup of electric chainsaws now, and this is the guy that I got. So this is the Steel. Whoa! This is the Steel MSA 300, and I read quite a few reviews on this guy. And this guy, it's a big saw, and this guy is the exact equivalent. It was designed to be an equivalent of the MS-261C, which is the saw that I had, my bigger one. And that's like the entry-level pro saw, like professional forestry saw. It's a very nice saw. That was about an $850 saw. This guy was also $850, so I traded it in. They gave me about $500 for it, which is pretty good, considering I used it for several months heavily. I built the entire cabin out of it, basically. So this guy, it's got the same 20-inch bar and chain, and it's quite powerful. So I got 2 batteries with it. I'm excited to use this guy out. There's no gas, obviously, but there's just the chain oil. Now this guy, a gas saw, my MS-261C, the loudness rating was about 116 decibels. This saw is about 95. So it's 20 decibels less. So it's much, much quieter. It's still noisy. Like, it'll crack your ears. You got to wear ear protection. But I just had to do it, guys. Like, I love gas saws, honestly. There's something so, like, divinely masculine about them. They're very, very cool. But they're just hurting my ears. So thank God the technology has come to a place where this is an option. This thing is so powerful, man. That's nuts. It's got 3 different modes. You can switch between, that's full mode. This is eco mode. That's mid mode. Very, very cool. When you put the brake on, you get the little brake signifier. When you take it off, it comes off. And then if you leave it for a few seconds, it kind of automatically turns off, and you just got to hit this button to kind of put the power back on. But that is freaking cool, man. Oh my goodness. I just got swarmed by wasps. And I don't mean white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. I mean the insect kind. Oh my goodness. So I finished off the third side completely. I finished off all these ends. And I started painting up there. When I got up there, I started to get dive bombed from wasps up there. They stung. I don't know if you can see this, but it's already kind of swollen up. They got me on my forearm, and they got me on my back just beneath my shoulder blade before I jumped off the ladder backwards. Somehow didn't spill the paint, but I'm going to try to get these guys on camera so you can see. Now, they weren't here 2 weeks ago when I was painting over here. They must have moved in. I can hear them going around, coming from right up there. Do you see them up there? They're coming right out of that top. I think they might have built a little nest inside there. It's coming down at me again. Man, these guys are feisty, man. Holy cow. Anyways, I don't think I can. I've got enough paint to do it, but I don't think I can do the final coat on this back wall. We're gonna have to get rid of these wasps. I guess I can just get, wasp and hornet killer. But I prefer not to douse chemicals everywhere. If you guys got any hot tips about how to get rid of a wasp nest, we almost finished off the last coat.
Yeah, I'm an AI, but I'm here to talk apps. Real apps you can build in minutes with Base 44. This final...
Can you guys see over there? That's where they're going in and out of. I don't know if they've maybe got a cocoon nest thing up there or what, but I'm gonna have to get some chemical warfare. Oh God, dude, it's a giant spider too. Oh man, gotta get this thing. This is why we gotta chink this place, guys. We gotta get rid of these insects. That's it. I'm gonna open up a full Vietnam War. Napalm, Agent Orange, all kinds of chemical warfare coming against these bugs inside the cabin. You better watch out, bugs. You've just met your worst nightmare. Okay, so next step, as the cabin is drying, before we can continue the chinking, I'm gonna go put the final touch on the driveway. So you guys remember last week we were doing the driveway, the top layer of the grade A gravel with my neighbor. And after it was finished, it's kind of a little fluffy, for lack of a better term. Like it's pretty well graded, but it is not compacted. And you can tell the same route that I'm taking in with my truck and the same place that I'm parking, it's already developing these little ruts. So I asked my neighbor, I'm like, hey, if I rented one of these gas tamping machines, would that help kind of compact down the driveway and kind of avoid these ruts from forming? He said, absolutely. Gosh dang. Forrest Red Oak, you are looking good. Look at this. This is raspberry jam that my neighbor picked. She just brought it over, and it's raspberries, just like the raspberries back on my property. And she sweetened it. Check that out. She sweetened it with nothing but honey, local honey. So there's no sugar in there. This is crazy, man. Of course, I've got no spoon, but I do have a banana. Look at that. I'm going to quote Bud Fox from the film Wall Street. This tastes so good that any better, and it would be a sin. You can drink jam, right? That's socially acceptable, right? Right. Wow. I don't know if all that footage was just wasted or not. I don't know if that was showing up on camera. But that made an enormous difference. By golly, that took a long time. But, oh man, it's a completely different phenomenon now when you're walking. The feeling before was your foot would sink down a little bit and it would like kind of push down and back as you're walking. But now there's zero give whatsoever. You're solidly on top of the gravel. And there were some ruts appearing where the car, I was coming in with the truck every time, and inevitably there will be, but those ruts are gone now. Even when I was taking the ATV onto the gravel, there were little ruts where the tires were, but this is completely compacted. So this machine is pretty crazy because it weighs 130 pounds, but I was reading the stats on the machine. I believe it's made by Wacker Neuson. I was reading the stats in the rental store, and it's the equivalent of something like 2,500 or 3,000 pounds, I think, per square foot of weight when it's bouncing up and down like that. So it's an enormous amount of weight that's going down, and you can visibly see, at least I can, I hope you guys can too, the texture of the top has really changed. I think that was almost 4 hours. But you know what? The tool was only $35 to rent for the day. And I think it's 4 hours well spent because, man, I think this is really going to prolong the life of this gravel in the driveway. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? That is a pine marten. Dude, do not come over here, dude. Those guys are vicious. Oh my goodness.
Holy fudge.
Aging doesn't steal erections. Neglect does. Men are told it's just age, except...
Dude, I was eating my dinner, and one of those rabbits ran right at me, right past my chair. I literally thought to myself, I wonder if there's a pine marten around here. I'm like, why would that rabbit run right past my chair towards me? It was a pine marten. So you see how big that guy was. Pine martens, the females and the males are very different sizes. Oh, dude. He's behind me. So they're in the mustelid family. They are a member of the weasel family, the largest member of which in North America is the wolverine. So these pine martens are like mini wolverines. The males, I think, max out at around 15, maybe 20 pounds. The females max out at around 9. But they're absolutely ferocious, like pound for pound. They're total psychopaths. I can hear him rumbling around back there. He's looking for those snowshoe hares, man. There's so many snowshoe hares around here. Dude. Oh my God. It's very rare to see those guys because they're very secretive. Wow, that's cool. That's Canada. That's a mini wolverine. Just scale it up. So if a male pine marten can get up to 15 or 20 pounds, a male wolverine, I believe they top out at like 40. So it's basically half the size, maybe little less than half the size of a wolverine. But wolverines, to put it in perspective, a 40-pound wolverine, there's literally videos on YouTube of a 40-pound wolverine scaring a 500-pound grizzly bear, a 400-pound black bear off of carcasses, like elk carcasses or bison carcasses. Dudes, did you see that? Oh my God. Dragonfly just almost flew right in my face. Dude, he's over there. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
cannot believe this right now. This is wild, man. Oh, shit. Okay, guys, everything I was just saying about pine martens, what I think I meant to say was Fisher. Fisher and pine martens are both smaller than wolverines, but I think Fisher are bigger than pine martens. So I think that was a Fisher. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe some folks out there could help on the ID, but the stats I was listing off about male and female sizes, those are for Fishers, not pine martens. That chainsaw is ridiculous. That thing is so powerful, man. Oh my goodness. Hello? Hello?
Siri's dictation was driving me crazy, so I switched to Whisperflow. Here's why I'll never go back.
Oh, yeah. So you see, we can look right up the field at Thor's Red Oak down there. We can also see Fishers or pine martens hunting snowshoe hares like we were just witnessing as we were eating dinner, which is pretty cool. And, if anyone's coming into the property illegally, trespassers, you can also see them coming this way. And then you turn around and bada bing, bada boom, we're going to cut down those trees. The epic ridge line. Bit of a wild week this week, man. I don't know, maybe it was just that pine marten or Fisher doing his full Terminator mode to take out those snowshoe hares. So we did the finishing work on this window, cutting out the top and the bottom flat and getting these blind beams in here so that the frame for the window, we can plop it in. And I love the new electric chainsaw. That's a major development. Now I don't have to worry about my ears. We tamped out the driveway. That was a heck of a job. I'm so glad we did it. It took 4 hours. It was well worth it. We cut this window, so we've now got the 2 windows, the rough openings, ready for the windows, hopefully coming in next Friday or Monday. We got all the anti-critter devices installed, the 1/4-inch hardware mesh all the way around the building. We almost got the second coat fully done on the cabin in terms of the stain. We just got to go full Vietnam War berserker mode to take out this hornet's nest and that giant spider that's up there. But once we paint in that back wall, we can continue with the chinking. So this Oakham stuff is so cool, man. It is so cool, and it works so well. It really gets jammed in there. It's super tight. And once the window's in and the chinking is in, by golly, guys, we pretty much got ourselves a cabin. Now, there's still lots of interior work to do. We've got to install the stove. The fight continues next week. We'll see you here on Wild Homestead. May the gods bless you, both the old gods and the new. And remember, guys, 9 words, 4 syllables. It'll get you through life.
Ooga. Ooga. Chat. Chat. W's. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. W. Almost 3 hours streaming. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. We'll be back, man. Shout out to y'all. We'll be streaming every day this year. We'll be putting in that work, chat. I love y'all. Alright, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Alright, chat. Y'all take care.